get started with wedding and wedding night. Father, I ask that you would speak to us now, and my prayer is that you would speak to us in a really deep way. And I want to pray individually. I want to pray for men in this place, that you are trying desperately and deeply to teach them something here about the nature of sex and what it is, particularly those who maybe have historically had pornography issues and others that have these things in their minds that in the end are not going to bring them life. I just pray that you speak to them. And for the women in this room, Father, I pray that you would speak deeply to them. And Father, that you might put this thing in them that they hunger for in such a way that they'd be willing to wait, willing to fight, willing to... I thank you for this chapter. It just might be one of the greatest chapters in the Bible, probably the greatest chapter outside of the gospel. The gospel. And so thank you for the beauty of it and the weight of it. And really I'll even thank you for just how graphic it is. And that you're so comfortable in it. As uncomfortable as we can be, you're just so comfortable in it. So I thank you. You brought us here tonight. I believe that just in your sovereignty and your power. You called us into this place, and so you did that because you wanted to talk to us. And so I pray that you would do that. It's for your beautiful name that I pray. Amen. All right. So let's look at this wedding. They were attracted to one another. She headed out and found where he had his goats, and they hooked up and started dating, and then dating turned to this kind of exclusive dating, and we don't know how it happened, but he asked her for her hand, and they get married. So we're going to pick it up, and I don't know what this means, but there's 6 verses on the wedding, and then there's like 20 on the wedding night. So this was written by a man. Here's what happened at the wedding. I got out, said yes. Now let me tell you. All right, so here we go. Let's look at this. Verse 6 of chapter 3. What is that coming up from the wilderness like columns of smoke, perfumed with myrrh and frankincense, with all the fragrant powders of a merchant? Behold, it is the litter of Solomon. Around it are 60 mighty men, some of the mighty men of Israel, all of them wearing swords and experts in war, each with his sword at his thigh against terror by night. Okay, groomsmen, that's all that is. That's it. That's all I have. He just said these were the groomsmen. All right? There's a lot of them. There's 60 of them. They're dressed in swords. And that's your groomsmen. Verse 9. King Solomon made himself a carriage from the wood of Lebanon. He made its posts of silver, its back of gold, its seat of purple. Its interior was inlaid with love by the daughters of Jerusalem. Go out, O daughters of Zion, and look upon King Solomon with the crown with which his mother crowned him on the day of his wedding, on the day of the gladness of his heart. So this day is huge, all right? It's huge. It took him a while to get there. We know it took him a while to get there because he built this carriage. That's what that thing just said. That Solomon traveled to Lebanon. He pulled down the cedars of Lebanon. He built a carriage with his hands. And then he inlaid it with gold. And all right, so he built this carriage. And then this day seems majestic, all right? This hidden like 4 bridesmaids and 4 groomsmen. And, this thing's massive. It's this massive party, and he's decked out. And then it's this celebration, man. It's this rampant, amazing, beautiful, cool celebration. And now, let's get out of here. So they go get in this carriage that, by the way, has purple interior inlaid with love. And they head to the hotel, bed and breakfast, whatever. Now, 4:1 starts what I believe is unbelievably profound. So watch this. Behold, you are beautiful, my love. Behold, you are beautiful, Listen, here's our line again. Your eyes are doves behind your veil. So what are we talking about? He's not talking about her eyes. All right? Once again, he's going, you are beautiful. So they're in the room. He's wearing his whatever. She's wearing her dress. He's looking at her. No one's there. Just the two of them. 60 groomsmen gone. 60 bridesmaids doing whatever they do. And they're in this room. And he's like, you are beautiful. Everything about you is beautiful. Your eyes are doves. Your person is beautiful. All right? Your eyes are doves behind your veil. Your hair is like a flock of goats leaping down the slopes of Gilead. Now, in case you don't know better, you're probably going to need to get into '07, all right? Don't try this stuff in particular. Because to her, your hair is like a flock of goats. Is a very good thing, all right? Not so much in the woodlands, all right? I mean, you get home tonight and you're like, baby, your hair is like a flock of goats. It's probably going to end differently for you, all right? Than it's going to end for our boy Solomon here. So just word out of the gate, you're not going to want to steal any of this. You're going to want to steal the idea, but not exactly the wording, all right? Your hair is like a flock of goats leaping down the slopes of Gilead. Your teeth are like a flock of shorn ewes that have come up from the washing, all of them which bear twins. It's a different time period because he just went, and baby, you got all your teeth. All right? I mean, that's... When we did this one in Arkansas, they were like, hallelujah. No, I'm kidding. I didn't even do the one in Arkansas. I'm kidding. I have nothing against the people of Arkansas. Or their sisters and or wives. Let's go. Your teeth are like a flock of shorn ewes that have come up from the washing, all of which bear twins, and not one among them has lost its young. This is a big deal at this time period, all right? This is no joke. Your lips are like a scarlet thread, and your mouth is lovely. Listen to this. Your cheeks are like halves of pomegranate behind your veil. Your neck is like the Tower of David, built in rows of stone. On it hang 1,000 shields, all of them shields of warriors. Now I'm going to stop. Because we're still dressed. So I'm going to stop and talk before things get naked. All right? Okay, so it's very clear that these two have saved themselves for one another because we've seen the whole romance. Now, I don't know what you'll recall, what you'll remember, what you know, but we walk into this room, and this room's filled with a little nervous energy. I mean, both of them know why they're going to this room. Everybody at the wedding knows why they're going to this room, correct? Huh? All your groomsmen walking you, all right. All the bridesmaids, girl, are you nervous? I mean, everybody knows. Everybody knows, all right? You don't look your father-in-law in the eye that whole day. Love you. I'm part of the family. Thank you. I mean, it's just a weirdness to it all. And they get into this room and watch him. And this is such a deal for men that this thing is not quick. It is not rough. He hasn't even touched her. He's spending these first moments where intimacy is beginning to build by going, God, your soul is beautiful. And look at your hair. Look at your face. Look at your lips. Look at your smile. Look at your neck. This does not sound like a man who's out of control. In fact, this whole thing is very, very, very romantic. And here's something that's profound, and we'll talk more about this here in a second. Our boy doesn't seem like he's in much of a hurry, does he? He didn't go, your hair is gorgeous and the breasts. Oh, man, those breasts, right? He didn't do that. No, I mean, this guy isn't built on speed. He is taking his time here. And he walks down. Now, what do you think's happening to her? Her nervousness, her fear. We know historically she's had fears about her body, about how she looks, about how, and this would be just a general rule for the rest of our time together. Insecure women who don't feel safe don't make good lovers. That's why that great old worship song, Older Women Make Beautiful Lovers. Do you remember that? You guys didn't sing that in your church? The reason that song honestly is true is because usually the older a woman gets, the more comfortable she gets in her body, the more comfortable she gets with who she is, the more comfortable. It was a celebration of that idea, right? And so I don't think he's doing this on purpose, but he really is disarming her. I think the old adage is that women aren't microwaves, they're crock pots. All right? They cook slow, not fast. And so he's warming her up. Now, so sex is romantic. This is biblical sex. We're talking biblical sex here, all right? So first thing we see out of the gate is that sex is romantic. Now watch this, and we'll talk here because there's something profound going on. Verse 5, your two breasts, all right, so now we've got the dress off. It's at least half off, all right? Your two breasts are like two fawns, twins of a gazelle, that graze among the lilies. Okay, let me ask a question here. Now, fawns are baby deer, correct? Am I correct? I'm going somewhere. I'm just asking a question. Don't get nervous. If you saw two baby deer grazing among the lilies, how do you approach those fawns? All right, no. That's not. You don't tackle fawns. Look at my face. You don't grab them. You don't, look at this, it's a fawn. It's not, you walk quietly, and you look at my face, you gently approach the fawn. All right? You don't wring its neck. You don't break its leg. Are you following me here? Are we all right? Are you tracking? Do I need to go any farther than this? I'm hoping to God on high the answer is no, all right? So here's what I'll say. Sex is not only romantic, but it's gentle. It's gentle. And I hear guys all the time, man, who just complaining about the frequency of sex, but then you can tell by the things you're saying. I'm like, hey, how about you quit groping your wife? Maybe if you quit groping her, that'd quit happening. Like, here's how we teach. And I'll give you some practical things for what, let me tell you how we teach our boys at the village. My staff is incredibly young. There's about 50 of us. Most of them are in their 20s. Almost all of them have been married right as they came on staff or right after they came on staff. So we've been in a baby boom, man. I mean, we're in year 5 now, and we're baby boom. My son is 2. There are 8 other staff babies that are 2. And so as our young guys started getting married, I had the sex talk with them out of this chapter. And one of the things we did that helped them with this idea, and please steal this, is what we encouraged them to do was to make a CD of all their favorite love songs, him and the wife. Make a CD, and here's the rule. First 3 songs, which is 18 minutes, you don't go below the chin. You don't touch anything below the chin. All right? Next 3 or 4 songs, all right? You can go to the navel. Go to the navel. Nothing under the navel. All right? 3 or 4 songs later, man, you've been kissing and gently rubbing for 40 minutes. You go. All right? Let's go. You put Crash by Dave Matthews or something right there, all right? You put whatever you want right there. Let's Get It On by whoever. I mean, you put whatever you want right there. But that's the green light. And so it's yellow, 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 yellow for 40 minutes, and bam, green. And when I taught that at a men's Bible study, one of our elders, I won't say his name because I know we're recording this, one of our elders who's in his, late 60s, came up and was like, I'd love to get a copy of that CD. I was like, oh. I didn't give it. I cannot be responsible for his death. I am not giving him that. He is an elder in our place. I cannot be responsible for that. No, I actually gave him the CD, man. And have never followed up on it. I gave him the CD and never asked about it again. But this is one of those things where you can see here that sex, that's his whole point, all right? Your breasts are like fawns. His whole point is this thing's gentle. This thing is very, very gentle. And listen, here's what happens. Here's why guys get so stupid when they look at too much porn. Because they think this average woman that has decided to spend their lives with you and has come into your bedroom, they think that woman's like the woman they see on porn. And it's not. She's not. She's not. And so he's saying here, biblical sex, good sex, real sex the way God created, it is very romantic, very intense, very gentle. Very gentle. All right, let's keep reading here. I love 4:6 also. Well, I just love the whole chapter. 6. Until the day breathes and the shadows flee, I will go away to the mountain of mirth and to the hill of frankincense. He just said, we're going to be here for a while. Didn't he? I mean, he just said, until the sun goes up, and then listen, this doesn't even make sense. And the shadows are gone? Because then once the sun's up, aren't there shadows? I mean, did he just go, for the rest of tonight and all day tomorrow, I'm going to be in the hills? This guy is good, dude. I mean, I'm not kidding. He's just good. Like, I don't even know what to do with him, so I just want a picture of him to hang on my wall, all right? I mean, it's like Solomon. Thank you, all right? And here's what I would tell you. Not only is sex very romantic the way God created it to be, not only is it very gentle, but it's also very, very exhilarating because there's no other, I mean, what he's saying there, I don't really believe that the cat's got the stamina to do what he's saying, but what he's saying is I'm not going anywhere. I'm here. This is where I want to be. I don't want anything to eat. I don't want to watch anything on television. I'm not trying to hurry anything up here. This is where I want to be. There's this exhilaration thing happening. All right, look at 4:7. You are altogether beautiful, my love, and there is no flaw in you. He hasn't let up, has he? So now look what just happened here, because I think this is profound too. She's completely naked now. I mean, she is completely naked. Now, specifically in this time period where the shape of a woman would have been hidden, all right? Size of her breasts, roundness of her hips, all that would have been hidden in the dress, all right? How paranoid weird is she about her body? I mean, you don't think in her mind, she's not saying out loud, you don't think her mind's moving 1 billion miles an hour? Oh, I hope he likes this, I hope he likes this, I hope he likes, and he has not shut up yet. He continues to go flawless. Hair, now she's completely naked, and what's his word? You're perfect. You're flawless. You're all right, and we've already discussed this a little bit. I think sex it's scary, it's frightening, it's got that element of nervousness to it, particularly on this night. And Solomon's quick to put her at ease. Why? Well, because honestly, he really loves her. He's not, All right, let's keep going. Come with me from Lebanon, my bride. Come with me from Lebanon. Depart from the peak of Ammon, from the peak of Senir and Hermon, from the den of lions, from the mountains of leopards. Look at this. I think what's happening there is you've got this with me idea happening, this real union taking place. This idea that we're going to find about later that Jesus is going to talk about two becoming one flesh. You've got this real kind of cool union happening here. But then look at verse 9. I love verse 9. 9's a pretty profound verse. In fact, we'll go 9 through 11. You have captivated my heart, my sister, my bride. You have captivated my heart with one glance of your eyes. With one glance of your eyes. With one jewel of your necklace. How beautiful is your love, my sister, my bride. How much better is your love than wine, and the fragrance of your oils than any spice. Your lips drip nectar, my bride. Honey and milk are where? Under the tongue. So the top tastes like honey, and underneath is like honey with some milk. So we're not kissing like we kiss our mama here, are we? Can I point that out? If your answer is yes, please leave. All right? If your answer to that is yeah, find a recovery something somewhere, all right? 12 steps. Let's get them done. All right, so you can see here that sex is also, it's very, very sensuous, is it not? I mean, I don't know if you saw what just happened there. He's talking about smells, he's talking about sounds, and he's talking about tastes. Yeah. Sex is very, very sensuous. Very, very sensuous. All right, let's keep going. I mean, we can dwell there if you want, but I'm going to move on. All right, let's keep going. Verse 12. A garden locked is my sister, my bride. Listen to this. A spring locked, a fountain sealed. Your shoots are an orchard of pomegranates with all the choicest fruits. Henna with nard and saffron, calamus and cinnamon, with all trees of frankincense, myrrh, and aloes, with all choice spices. A garden fountain, a well of living water, and flowing streams from Lebanon. I think what you see happening here is the holiness of sex occurring. What we know about Solomon from the book of Ecclesiastes was he was quite the botanist. You're going to find in the book of Ecclesiastes that he built not only gardens, but full-on national forests. I mean, the guy was just this unreal gardener, knew plants well, knew they were very much a passion of his life. He spent a very big portion of his life building gardens in Jerusalem. In fact, if we were to hop on a plane tonight and fly to Jerusalem on the west or on the east side of Jerusalem, there are these massive, massive craters to this day that are called the Pools of Solomon. And what they were these watering pools that he built to water the forests that he had planted. I mean, he was big time when it came to that stuff. So I know you did a good job in your backyard with the crepe myrtles and all that, but it's junior varsity stuff compared to what Solomon did. And so what Solomon has done here is he's selected the most rare, the most expensive, and the most sought after plants and flowers and spices, and he's comparing those things to this woman now. He said, your body is like the impossible garden, the dream garden, because you can't grow cinnamon in the same place that you grow pomegranates. They need different amounts of water. They need different, and he's going here, your body is the most perfect place, and it's been locked for all these years. You've kept it locked, and now it's open, and it's the most perfect garden I could have ever imagined. It's an impossible garden. You couldn't get this anywhere else. There's a holiness thing occurring here where he's saying, here's what he's saying. Let me drive the point home with this. He's saying in this moment, I could have sex with another woman, but what's happening here is well beyond your physical body and just sex. There's this friendship that's been built on. There's this love that's occurred. There's this genuine care for the soul. There's all these pieces. And now sex is occurring where this goes well beyond her body. Well beyond. Now, we can see from the text, he's having a good time at the body part. But there's something behind his desire to touch her that is bigger than testosterone. There is something behind his desire to make love to her that goes well beyond him being aroused. All right, now, it's about to switch, all right, because we've just heard from Solomon. That's all we've heard. Solomon. And now she's going to speak, and there's some pretty profound things in here. We'll pick it up in 16. Awake, O north wind. I'll bring this into 07. So he's gone, you're beautiful, you're beautiful, you're beautiful. She gets naked, you're flawless. He's kissed every part of her body, her toes, her ears. This man has been, they have not made love yet, but he has gently, sweetly, and over a long period of time kissed every part of her body. And her first line is, "Awake, O north wind." The north wind for the Jew is a symbol of strength. She, in essence, said, "I hope you brought some Gatorade." Which will make any man weep, all right? Just break down and start worshiping. Thank you, God, all right? She says, "Hope you brought the Gatorade," all right? "Awake, O north wind." I hope you're not almost done. What she just said, all right? But listen to this. "And come, O south wind." South wind is the reciprocal of the north wind. "Continue to be gentle with me." Continue to be gentle with me, all right? "Blow upon my garden. Let its spices flow. Let my beloved come to his garden and eat its choicest fruits." So as he woos her, touches her, kisses her, calls her body flawless, compares it to the desires of his heart, does all these things, she does not lay there. All right, follow me. She does not try to speed this thing up. And listen, here, I always want to be real honest with you, because what we're talking about here is ideal sex. And what happens when we have intimacy issues, particularly women have intimacy issues, and they know their husbands desire sex, they'll have sex with their husband, but they don't want the intimacy part. So even if he tries to slow things down, even if he tries to be intimate, they'll freeze up, and they'll feel like it's dirty, and they'll feel uncomfortable, and that's why those are those areas, those are those little foxes we need to go get help. We need to go see a counselor. We need to get into some kind of recovery deal. We need to do something, because some kind of wound in there is robbing us from our ability to give ourselves to our husband. It can be absolutely devastating, right? Particularly if your man wants this so badly. I mean, if your husband doesn't care, then he's got some sin issues in his life. But for a husband to want his wife this badly, and she's got wounds that freeze her up and don't allow, we got to get some help on that for your sake. Not for your husband's sake, for your sake. I mean, does she seem like she's having a good time in this whole deal? Blow on my garden? I mean, he's been doing all these things. What's her response? Get some Gatorade, keep being gentle, and blow on my garden. I think she's enjoying herself quite a bit. In fact, she said, that garden, that perfect garden you just talked about, come eat the choicest fruits. Come nibble on whatever you want to nibble on. That's what she says. So there's this responsiveness on the woman's part. On the woman's part. And I mean, this is a key piece for the male. This does something to the man. Sex is not enjoyable for the man if the woman just lays there, looks at the clock, hopes that this thing can end quickly. Right? But in ideal sex, the woman's been made, she feels safe enough to just let herself go. She's there. She's in this moment.